seasonal color. Okay, the Oregon grape is basically another, if you go to a Lowe's or Home Depot and they're selling you an Oregon grape, a Mahonia, it's probably not the Mahonia repens, which is what grows all through the Montaigne, Ponderosa area, all through Thorpe. It's most likely the one that gets to be 7 to 8 feet tall and difficult. The Mahonia repens, it's maybe tall max. You can see it's so seasonal. The yellow flowers in the spring, the blueberries in the fall or late summer. And again, they use the Oregon grape for jelly, and it's jams and jellies and compotes. So it's a wonderful, I love the plant, and it grows everywhere here. And I've just let it go as a backdrop to all of my flower beds. I have to prune the suckers. They're going to sucker. That's how they spread. But you only have to. Then there's dogwood again. There is a yellow twig dogwood as well that grows exactly the same as a red twig dogwood. I just have the picture of the red twig, but it's so great in the wintertime. And this is your spring flower. And here's another naturalized plant, Carya japonica. Anytime you see the word japonica, you know it came from Japan. It's a shrub that has been naturalized in Eastern North America, and it's very, very good in erosion control. Its stems are but the stems stay bright lime green. And so when you've got snow everywhere and you can see those lime green stems popping up and the red osier dogwood stems, you feel like you've controlled winter somehow, even for a second or two. Let's see. All right. This is edible natives in the landscape. Your blue elderberry. Now we have the blue elderberry. The west side of the mountains has the red elderberry, but their berries aren't edible. Our elderberries, though, we make the jams and the wine and all the wonderful stuff. And the birds drop them everywhere. And let me warn you, if the birds an elderberry tree or plant, and you think, oh, that's so cute, and oh, it'll be fine there. Look around and see what it's going to be in front of, because I've had to cut down one every year for the last 10 years. I can't get it out of the ground, but I have to cut it down every year because it's in front of my dish, my satellite dish. So there you go. Never thought about that years and years ago when I let it go. The woods rose. It's one of the highest forms of vitamin C out there, which is really great for the deer because they know it. They'll eat ropes, and they definitely need that vitamin C in the wintertime when there's very little to eat. And it does make a great tea. Rosehip tea is, I'm sure everyone has tried it at least once. And okay, I'll give you the hazelnut. I'm from Oregon, so therefore for me, it's been the filbert all my life. And we had filbert orchards when I was growing up. So it was hard for me to accept the hazel, but they had to in order to sell the filberts. Nobody knew what a filbert was. It's the same thing, it's just what it's called. So we do have them in the Cascade Range up here in the higher elevations. They're not, they don't grow in large amounts, but they do grow wild here. They grow happily throughout almost all of Kittitas County in the landscape. Just prepare for, you're going to need two varieties. If you want nuts, you need two varieties. You don't want this two of the same variety. You need two different varieties. So plan on that if you want hazelnuts. And then your thimbleberries, that's kind of, they're not good for crops because they need water. They grow along streams and marshes and bogs. Hikers love them because they're another part of the rose family, and but they're those big wide leaves kind of look like grape leaves, but they're very good shelter for small animals and things that could be nabbed by a winged something or other. So let's see here. Where are we? Plant in masses. And I say that because that's what your pollinators look for at a distance. They look, they're not going to see one or two flowers. They're going to see large spreads. And you're liable to be tempted by this gorgeous Western blue flax. Just be aware, these seeds perfectly. It will reseed in your lawn. It will reseed in your flower beds everywhere. But it's a beautiful plant. It's easily grown, and it'll come back. It'll come back every year, just like a grass. I've already talked about the spreading phlox. This picture, it just is another, the butterflies love it. Let's see. Oh, I was going to say here, wait a minute here. I'm just talking. I'm not reading my notes, and I'm forgetting to tell you information here. So I should read my notes better. The smooth sumac is native here in the Northwest. But the staghorn sumac is native on the East Coast. It's just as happy here on the West Coast. And the staghorn has some parts of it are edible. Now, I'm not an expert on that, so I can't tell you how that is. We do have somebody in the Master Gardener program, though, that does know about edible plants, and she could tell you the details. I just found out about that just a few days ago, that there was an edible plant, a sumac. Are you kidding me? But there's always something new to learn. Always something new. It gets to be about 10 feet tall. And I have two in my yard. Two of the staghorns, they sucker amazingly. And you're going to be always, unless you want a stand of them, and they do form, they prune very well. My girlfriend bought some property over in the Wenatchee area by the water, and she had a lot of sumac, and she pruned them to look like palm trees. And we felt like we were out sunning in the islands. It was wonderful. I'll tell you about endangered species and collecting from the wild. If you know that whole plants have been gathered in the wild, don't participate. I've seen with my own eyes, I've seen pickup loads of sword ferns being hauled out of the right out of Highway 2. And we have arrested individuals from Canada coming down and taking humongous bags of mushrooms out of our national parks. And so they're all, you just have to be aware of where you're getting your plants. And if you're trying not to take that, just for, and I have to tell you about the basalt daisy, because it only grows in Kittitas County. It's endangered. It literally grows in the basalt rocks. It has such a vigorous taproot that it can live in a rock. And the stems are maybe about 4 to 6 inches long of the flowers. It flowers in May. And if you're interested in it, there's about a 7-mile stretch along the Yakima River in the basalt areas there. The only place in the entire world that this little daisy grows. So we're happy to have it here. And I don't expect you to memorize this phone number, but if you do find that there's a native rare plant about to be destroyed, give us a call and we'll make the phone call for you.